Let's welcome back the Powerhouse panel on this Wednesday morning. We start with best-selling author and political analyst Mark Halpern is with us. National Advisory Board member for Project 21, Christopher Arps is here, and former Lieutenant Governor of New York and New York Post columnist and Newsmax contributor Betsy McCoy is with us in studio. Betsy, good morning. Welcome back to the studio. By the way, I just want to, we have a Jon Stewart quote about cancel culture, and I thought this was not surprising but fascinating. Jon Stewart literally thinks that cancel culture does not exist. He said, quote, "People that talk about cancel culture never seem to shut the bleep up about it, like there's so much more speech now than ever before. It's not you can't say it. It's that when you say it, look, the internet has democratized criticism." Betsy, does cancel culture exist? And what would Chris Harrison have to say about cancel culture, do you think, if he were on the panel this morning?
Well, clearly cancel culture exists. As we were discussing earlier, the New York Post's biggest story leading up to the election got literally canceled by social media as well as the mainstream media. So yes, cancel culture does exist, and it's funny to me that Jon Stewart won't admit it because it's completely changed the area of humor. You can't tell jokes about people even the way you used to be able to.
I want to tie in the Jon Gruden situation. He sent those racist, homophobic emails, Chris. He went after players. He went after politicians. He went after the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell. Again, these emails were sent over almost a decade. They were sent between 2011 and 2018. Roger Goodell, as we know, is very sensitive. I think he had a hand in sort of encouraging the Raiders to make the decision that they made. But what did you make of this, and what does this say about where the NFL is?
Look, I don't condone the tone or the content that was in Jon Gruden's emails, but I think you do expect some measure of privacy when you are emailing someone, especially your best friend. But you're right, Rob. We do see an example of a double standard. Deshaun Watson and other NFL players are still playing in the league while Jon Gruden has been canceled. There's a double standard. And when it comes to Dave Chappelle, with the comments that he made in his show, I think because he's a comic and he's popular, I think he needs to say those type of things so that we can try to change this cancel culture. The difference is people make mistakes and say things, but we used to have an era where you could be forgiven for those things and you could move on. Now, if you say something that's offensive, whatever, you're canceled and your career and your life is over.
Yeah, there's only one word. I mean, no, I think it's a great point. When I read these emails, I was like, this is just, I mean, the only word I could think of is idiotic. Mark, there's over 600,000 emails that were part of this investigation, and it sounds like right now, at least, Jon Gruden was collateral damage. Where are the replies? How wide does this net go? Will others fall as well? Because we're talking about, I mean, these guys, this is the NFL. I've got to think that there's some tough talk that happens. You know, you don't think it's going to be electronic in email form, but I don't think this is isolated to just Jon Gruden. Do you?
No, and you said the only word for them is idiotic. I'd say offensive is another word for them.
That's the clean word, but the word that you would say in conversation is the one I say.
Yeah. But he there needs to be some accountability for what he did. I agree with Chris. There's a slippery slope here in terms of privacy. But in general, the Washington football team, which was the team I cheered for as a child growing up, they've not been held accountable for a range of activities. And I think the commissioner and the league need to understand that this isn't going to stop. There's going to be a demand for more understanding about what went on with the team, and fines aren't enough.
I want to make it very clear that I am definitely not defending Jon Gruden here. Based on what we know right now, this is completely indefensible. Chris, you bring up great points when it comes to privacy. Woke ESPN yesterday, which I tuned into for the first time in a long time. The only time I really watch ESPN is when they've got a live game on, when it's the Red Sox or something like that. They say this is cronyism on display and that the NFL needs to do a lot more. There were people crying on set yesterday, including former New England Patriot Randy Moss. Take a look.
To have something like this of a leader. We talk about leadership. We give guys these big contracts because they want to be able to lead 70 men, coaches, equipment staff, and managers to the number one goal, and that's to win the championship. And for us to be moving back and not forward in 21st century, like I said, man, National Football League, this hurts me. The clock is ticking, man. I'm sorry.
All right, Betsy, I want to talk about maybe a double standard here, particularly when it comes to the NFL and this selective cancel culture, this selective punishment. There is a quarterback right now in Houston, Deshaun Watson. At least 10 women have come forward with criminal complaints. More than 20 are claiming that he has sexually assaulted and or harassed them. He is still a member of the Houston Texans football team. He's still collecting a paycheck. Roger Goodell, the commish, has done nothing.
Well, that's a problem, but I have to say that although women, the political correct thing to say is that women should always be believed. But in fact, a man is innocent or a woman is innocent until proven guilty. Why haven't criminal charges be brought by any of these women? That's the real issue. Truth should be decided in a court of law, not just on rumors, not just on television shows, in a court of law.
All right. We'll leave that there. I want to talk about what's happening at our ports. Savannah, Los Angeles, Long Beach, just south of Los Angeles, New York, New Jersey, the city of Boston. Major ports around the country are at a total standstill right now. Mark, you've got a 4+-year-old in your household. Have you done your Christmas shopping yet?
we tend to do Christmas shopping in July. So, yeah, we're all set. Don't tell him, but we got him the Rob Finnerty Lego set.
Yeah, well, that's in the mail, and Santa will bring what he wants to bring. But I tend to do mine like December 23rd. If you are watching what's going on right now, Christmas toys are going to be the new toilet paper. The toilet paper of March and April 2020, Mark. Is this just the start of how bad this could get?
Talk to every business leader in the country who deals with goods and services, and you'll hear horror tales of disruptions. It's a big problem. Christmas is sort of a focus right now, but there's a reason why the president's doing 2 events on this today. I'm sure his pollster and political advisors have told him they need to figure this out. This is an issue that demands presidential leadership. I hope this isn't just a photo op at the White House today, but I hope they're trying to figure out how to get these ports moving. It's not just that they're backed up. The costs of shipping, particularly from Asia, are now so compounded that some businesses are saying it's not worth bringing the products over because I'll lose money bringing them over because the shipping costs are so high.
Oh, the cost is right now, so it's gone up almost 5-fold. Prices for a container went from $20K to $60K to ship from China. Most toy makers, by the way, they make about 60% of their year-long profits in the 2 months around the Christmas holiday. We've yet to hear from Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, but Joe Biden assured us over the summer and, of course, while he was campaigning, that this would never be an issue in a Joe Biden America. Take a look.
My administration is going to take steps to combat these supply constraints, building on the work we're doing on the computer chips. Goods get to consumers more rapidly and less expensively. Our experts believe, the major independent forecasters agree as well, that these bottlenecks and price spikes will reduce as our economy continues to heal.
Chris, final thought on this. What do we need to hear from the president today?
Well, I tell you, I just hope the Rob Finnerty action dolls will still be available during Christmas time. The bobblehead, yeah.
already back ordered.
Yes.
Oh, darn,
all of our fans here on Wake Up America. Yes, $29.95, but there are sales that I run occasionally.
Yep. I put in my early order.
Yeah, all those big box retailers, heads from these big box retailers are going to be at the White House as well today. Hopefully Pete Buttigieg speaks up about this. But I remember when Pete Buttigieg was nominated, people said, well, he's going to learn on the job. Well, we've got a serious crisis now, and I'm not sure I want Mayor Pete learning on the job when it comes to something like this. Panel, we'll see you right after the commercial break. Stay where you are. Mark Halperin, Chris Arps, Betsy McCoy.